So in my view, the answer is not to do it country to country. So one country deciding we'll send it here or we'll send it there. It needs to go back into this special pool which has been created, led by Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, and the WHO. It's COVAX is called the facility, and it has 92 low and middle income countries and what's called an advanced market commitment. So COVAX knows where the greatest need is and how to roll it out. And what I would really urge is that all the redistribution of doses from high-income countries to low and low middle-income countries goes through this special mechanism that has been created.
Ma'am, good morning. Tanveer joining in this conversation. How do you feel about the whole patent waiver issue? Because the US is under tremendous pressure to actually send out more supplies to the world. And, there's that debate going on between increasing access to supplies versus giving away the IP code. And where do you stand on that debate?
So I think there's three tracks to the vaccine debate. Track one is redistribute the surplus that the high-income countries have got now. Next year's too late. We need more now. That's the first thing. The second thing is these G7 countries have Big Pharma in their countries. They need to be pressuring Big Pharma to get more voluntary licensing out to third country producers. And we have, amazing capacity, including in Africa, more in South Asia, more in Brazil, and so on. We need scaled up manufacturing, but that needs the licenses to go out to credible manufacturers, and it needs the knowledge and technology to be transferred with it so it can happen. The third part of the trifecta, as they say at the races, is the TRIPS waiver. In my humble opinion, there should be a provision under TRIPS that whenever a pandemic is declared, you waive intellectual property rights. We shouldn't be having to mess around to negotiate this pandemic by pandemic. We need a standing provision. Now, the good news was that the Biden administration said they were prepared to negotiate for this. Unfortunately, not all in the G7 have said that, so there's work to do. But this is not a fast track at the moment, and that's why I say redistribute what you can, get voluntary licensing, knowledge and tech transfer out there, allow people to make their own vaccines. People don't want a charity model. They want to be able to get on and get the vaccination done. We need 11 billion doses done out there by mid next year to vaccinate 70% of the world's population. That's the challenge.
Yeah, and I share a sentiment on that. Even on the timeline, ma'am, I do want to get your thoughts in. They're talking about 1 billion doses through 2022 at a time when, developing nations are struggling with vaccine variants, that vicious cycle. Isn't there much need, a dire need really, to fast track the process? And so 2022 seems a bit misplaced in terms of a timeline and a target there.
It's too far. Our panel was clear. 1 billion doses could be redistributed from high-income countries like mine, the G7, Australia, the lot, by September this year. That would be huge, extremely helpful. Look, we have frontline health workers in developing countries who are working in intensive care units with COVID patients, where the health workers themselves haven't been vaccinated and continue to put their lives on the line. Last time I looked at the figures, only about 2% of the total doses administered had gone into sub-Saharan Africa. Who wants to live in a two-tier world where in our little bubble in high-income countries, we get on with life, while in the vast rest of the world, people are grappling with a pandemic? This is no route to peace and harmony. So the more that can be done to redistribute now, yesterday, by September, and then coming more with more redistribution by mid next year, this is vital.